and welcome to Dave's Model Workshop. Today I'm going to be showing you how to paint tracks on tanks. So these are your standard rubber band style tracks that come with most tank kits. The techniques I'm going to show you work the same for these or the fancy pants individual link tracks that you can get in plastic, or the really expensive ones you can get in metal. Works for the same for all of them. Personally, I'm too cheap to buy those expensive ones, but you know, if you have, good luck to you. So these ones here, yesterday I painted them, spray painted them out in the backyard with just plain old matte black, and once that had dried I just gave them a quick going over with a bit of a wash of Van Dyke Brown Artist's Oils. That's dried overnight. You can see it's a bit glossy in places, and I also have just a little while ago splashed on a couple of bits of rust because I had been painting some rust. It's acrylic rust on my SU-122. But today, yeah, we're going to be using Artist's Oils. So in my mixer here I've got some black, some burnt sienna, and some Van Dyke Brown, I think it is. Yeah, so we're just going to mix them up and splush it all over the tracks. So with a paintbrush you don't really care about, I've just got some thinners, just plain old methylated spirits, just splushing that in and trying to get like a nice kind of rusty, dirty tone. Yeah, it's going to be nice and thin. It's just going to be a plain old wash that we're spludging all over the tracks. So that, yeah, that's kind of the colour we're after. Let's see if we can get that in focus. That's kind of the colour we're after. It's a dirty, brownishy black. Yeah, I'm just going to splush it on and you'll see what I mean. So nice and thin, plenty of thinner, and really that's what we're after. So you get that kind of rust effect. I do tend to get through a lot of oil paint here, and it also tends to dry a little bit glossy, so you may have to spray some matte over it at the end. I'm going to keep going and come back and show you in just a moment. So here we go, here's the overall effect. Obviously, you know, feel free to mix up how much of that reddish rusty tone you put in there. And by the way, I was incorrect before. The mix I'm using before isn't Van Dyke Brown, it is raw umber. Yeah, it's a really nice dirty colour. And you can also see $2.50, cheap as chips. You don't have to use any kind of fancy oil paints for this. So that's the outside, and I'm going to flip them over and do the inner surface. I'll just show you here how this is going on. So it's a really light wash, you can just see it slipping into all those cracks there. You really want that to flow in between the cracks and just get that really lovely dirty tone. And here are the tracks the next day. So these have dried overnight. Here's one looking, great, muddy. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it, which I would probably spray paint over with some dull coat, but overall really happy with those colours. The other one here, I've started doing some dry brushing with silver, so just light dry brushing just to really bring out those track cleats where they will have rubbed against cobblestones or the ground, sand, anything like that. I'm also going to muddy these up, do whatever kind of weathering you want to do. On the flip side, I've done a kind of central stripe down either side of light silver from where the road wheels, where the track wheels would have ground away, and I've also done highlights on those spikes that poke up. Try and get it in focus. So yeah, highlights on those little uprights where they would wear away between the wheels. So yeah, that's tracks. It's fairly infallible. So from here on, you can use pigments, you can use whatever kind of weathering or mud you use. You can just use brown old paint if you want to. But this is a fairly infallible way to do it. And yeah, explore, see how you go. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment below, and please do subscribe and check out my blog. It's davesmodelworkshop.com. See you next time. Bye.